Hey guys, it's Maddie. Thank you for checking out this interview I did with UFC fighter Charles Johnson. He's fighting a week from today, so on next Saturday. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the interview. Keep in mind that I am new to interviewing, so don't be too harsh, but if you have any suggestions for me, put them in the comments below. And for this interview, I really wanted to be mindful about the fact that Charles is about to go into media week and have to answer the exact same questions from every single media source. And so, I don't know, I kind of wanted to ask him some different questions and kind of more get to know him as a fighter and as a person, and kind of give the fans the opportunity to do that as well. Because, at least for myself as a fight fan, I know that I enjoy watching fights more and have a better fan experience when I feel like I know the fighters a little bit better and kind of like root for them more personally. So, yeah, I just wanted to give Charles the platform to talk about himself like that to his fans and the fans the opportunity to get to know him a little bit better. So let me know if this works, or if you hate it and want me to ask more analytical questions, I can obviously do that too, but I'm open to feedback. Leave it in the comments below. But yeah, hope you enjoy.
Was listening to one of your interviews that you said that you've only ever fought in the Apex. So I'm wondering if you have like a dream fight venue in mind for yourself.
I think my dream venue is like any arena that fans and friends can get to. Honestly, I don't really have one. I've been to the one in Jacksonville. I was just in Toronto last week, and that was great. That was fun. It just I think if they get it in Vegas at the whatever it's called, I would love to fight there. Where at T-Mobile Arena is fine as well. Um, I hope they get us in like I like the football stadium in Vegas as well. Like that would be dope if they could manage something like that. Maybe in Dallas or something would be cool, but I don't think they'll ever do anything outdoors, but something like that would be pretty cool if they could manage that. But yeah, I think hockey arenas are best for our sport, and so they usually go to places with that are like hockey arenas.
Right, right. Yeah, they when they came to Vancouver, so I'm in Canada as well. When they came to Vancouver, they were at a hockey arena. And that was,
Yep, in St. Louis, my hometown, they go to a hockey arena as well.
okay. So what's your favorite dream matchup for yourself?
Oh man, anybody standing across me for the belt. Honestly, I wanna. It's some matchups that I've always wanted to take advantage of. As far as I think it'd be great striking matchup. So right now, one that I'm looking forward to, as long as I win this weekend, is against Joshua Van, the other little flyweight, the Filipino kid. He's so fun. Yeah, like I just know we'll have a great time in there. And then also just like Brandon Moreno, I would love to fight him. I like his grappling transitions, but like he always stands and bangs. He gets fight of the year almost every year because of his style of fight.
Yeah.
Um, um I like Pantoja because he's gonna bang with you too. So I like those fights.
Right. I mean, the nice thing about the kind of top of your division is they're all exciting fighters that are willing to just like stand and bang and put on a performance for the fans, which is, great as
Yeah.
a fan experience and also as someone, you're someone that's comfortable striking. And that's when, I don't know. I mean, I do jujitsu and I love like watching you grapple too, but just the way you strike is really exciting and I can totally see how these matchups would be really exciting to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I've been really diving into the jiu-jitsu and like I got a love for it too. But it takes time. It's a learning process. But I'm just like studying different no gi stuff now. Like I've never been one person to go after people's legs or anything. So now I'm like trying to open my mind to it because guys just want to hold on to me. So I have to create different threats and stuff like that. So it's like it goes against my ideology when it comes to fighting, but I'm just trying to start learning as well.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to ask you about because I noticed that you do go for leg locks every once in a while, and that's something that we don't really see much in MMA, but it's something that I would love to see more. And actually, every year I'd make like a little UFC bingo card, and this year I have leg lock finish. is one of the bingo things. So obviously, I would love to
Yeah.
see you get the submission on one of those. But I wanted to ask, like, if that's something you're trying to bring more into your fighting, or if it's just kind of like a spur of a moment kind of thing.
Yeah, it's something I'm trying to implement, especially with like these wrestler guys, because they don't like people on their legs. So
Mhm.
just trying to create threats for guys that just want to hold positions and not really fight, which is most of the guys I fight. So just trying to create more of a threat for myself and give myself options to keep the fight on the feet more often.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's kind of more and more we're seeing wrestlers that I don't know. I hate using this term, but just like the wet blanket strategy, take someone down and then they don't really have submission threat. So I think if you have like a solid submission threat from the ground, you get on someone's legs, I think that that could definitely be like a way to combat like the Dagestani epidemic that we're seeing in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make my guard as strong as possible and just threatening as possible in every position. So, um, don't mind taking the fight anywhere. Just you know, not have to fight guys on the feet so much as far as the wrestling takedown defense. And like, all right, take me down. I'm going to like submit you now. Give them
Right.
that threat. So
Yeah, for sure. What is your favorite way to finish a fight? Like, would you prefer to get the knockout or get a submission?
I really like. I mean, knockouts are fun and they happen sparingly. I've never been a one punch and done. So my knockouts usually are meticulous and set up. And so like there is always something to appreciate about that. But I really like submitting people. I like getting in there and trapping people and submitting them. So like um a submission win for me would be a little bit more gratification and show me like all the work that I've put in over the years of training. Like
For
that's
sure.
the thing that was most foreign to me that I'm also like getting proficient at.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if it's something that proves to yourself that your hard work is paying off, I feel like that's extra rewarding. Are you someone that like watches a lot of tape?
Film study, yeah, I'll study film like particular when I have opponent like this, I'll study film. My last opponent wasn't much out there, so I just tried not to like he fought once a year, so it's like it's not much on a guy. You don't really know what you're walking into, so you don't want to stress yourself about the opponent. You want to just focus on what you're gonna do, which is every fight, but in some fights you just can't really watch much film. You can watch yourself. So I've been trying to watch myself a lot more and pay attention to moments in fights where I can win more. And then in this fight in particular, I study my opponent like daily. So watching fights from different his last three fights, watching moments from his different fights where I can take advantage of things and different places I can create opportunities for myself.
Do you have any like fighters that you watch to kind of like emulate their style or like find things that you pick up on from different strikers that you think like inspire you? And if so, like who are some of those fighters for you?
I drill different things, but for me it's more so like I think I have like every strike that I can throw. I can throw like almost all of them. So for me, it's just about building my own style and my own thing at this point. But for a time when I first got into MMA, it was like Dominic Cruz for a time, but then that his footwork and things like that, it was really I was a fan of boxing, so I was trying to learn how to throw my hands a lot. So I watched like a lot of Willie Pep and I watched which are old school fighter, you probably don't know, and then like Pernell Whitaker and then obviously Floyd Mayweather defensively, how to fire back and cover up. But some things don't work for MMA. And then obviously John Jones has been champion the whole time. So he's long for his division. So just little things, but it's a heavier weight class. So it's a lot slower. Things he can get away with that I can't at my weight class. Right now, I like watching Corey Sandhagen and Batista, the two 135ers that I like to watch. Um, and you can always pin stuff from like Mighty Mouse, like how he always builds up sequences and leads things into traps. So just a constant. That's just from a striking standpoint, and from grappling, I watch a few people as well. So I'm watching the Rutolo brothers from One Championship at the moment, and Mike Musameki. trying to just pay attention to like what do they see and what do they do, like old film. Try to find as much no gi as I can because that's closest to fighting. Um, and just different traps and threats, things that they're threatening.
I really love watching Mikey in particular, just because he has this way of like he's like an assassin. Like everything's so well
Yeah,
planned out, and like he totally he sets a trap, and then there's just
he just knows what he's gonna do when he goes in there, and once he starts operating from this is what I'm gonna do here, and this is what they're not gonna get, but this is what I'm gonna do, and then he just flows off of what he already knows, and obviously he's all constantly working and doing jujitsu, so he's getting better as well. But it's just that he's such a like he's very like nonchalant and like quiet and soft spoken, so you don't know until you know.
exactly. Yeah, have you been seeing his kind of like online he's so not like a confrontational person, but he's got this kind of back and forth with Sneeko right now. Have you been keeping up on?
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I haven't.
It's hilarious because like you say, he's so like soft spoken and you don't expect him to fight
He
back.
just seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. It's hilarious. So I wanted to ask you about this fight you have coming up. I mean, your opponent, I don't want to butcher his name. Asat Maksum, I think. Oh, and
Yeah,
he's
I think it sounds how it's spelled. So
okay, okay. Well, he's undefeated, and this is not like new territory for you. You've fought plenty of undefeated fighters before. Is there something that's kind of exciting about fighting an undefeated fighter? Like, do you like that at all? You could take the bit.
yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. For me, it's just about like I can give them something they never experienced before, which is a loss. I
Mhm.
can create that adversity for them, and test. And so it's a lot of guys who probably say I was one of their toughest, if not their toughest fights. So I can hang my cap on that. It's just about getting wins out here.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to ask about we all kind of as fight fans hypothesize about Charles Oliveira's daughter being the catalyst for him kind of turning his career around and going on that big win streak. So do you feel like having your daughter has kind of changed your motivation at all with like training or fighting?
Yeah, definitely. And you saw a little bit of it in the last fight in that third round, but for the most part, everything has just been like great as far as training and me, my focus, my attention detail, and just the way I approach everything as a professional right now. I'm very meticulous about my diet, about everything. So like I feel great and I'm just always working. So for me, it's just about being in the right mindset when it's time to fight.
All right.
She definitely she's helped with me just having every day is a good day.
Yeah, for sure. So what's your favorite way to spend your time like outside of the cage when you're not training or fighting?
For me, like right now, like when I'm close to fight week, I start playing like League of Legends often because it takes my mind off of stuff, gives me something to do, takes up some time, and I watch One Piece and I watch anime, so I'm trying to catch up in One Piece. And if it's not like I like doing creative things, so I've been working on the clothing brand and things like that. So I just got a lot of things that I'm always doing something, and I like being creative. So for me, I find something to feed that part of my brain, and it helps me just stay energized.
Do you ever do any kind of uh like fine art things to kind of scratch that creative itch?
Yeah, so like I've been doing design since I was in high school, and like so like playing around in Photoshop and editing, and as you can see on my social media, like all the stuff I post is just me like the editing of pictures and shit like that. Like that's all me, just from creative, goofy love movies, love comedy, love all that type of thing. So yeah, for sure.
That's so cool. Um,
Yeah.
so I just have like a general
Right now, this is what is sitting on my desk, just colored pencils, a
I love that.
planner,
I
and
mean,
a big old sketchbook.
I love that. I think people are interested in what fighters do in their free time when they're not fighting, because I think there's kind of like a
Yeah.
misconception of fighters as like super kind of like the stereotype of fighters. But I think really fighting and training kind of centers a lot of people and, you know, makes them unlike the stereotype. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's one of the few sports where like you get the most like organic people because like we got a lot of free time, even though like when we're not training, we got a lot of free time to like just this sport kind of forces you to figure out yourself.
Yeah,
It
for
kind of
sure.
forces you to be successful at the highest level. You have to know yourself, you know. So I think that part of it is why you see so many original and different type of people in the sport as opposed to boxers, like football players, basketball players, you know, things like that.
Um, that reminds me. I saw a post a little while back that was asking whether or not fighting kind of changes part of you into a new person, or if it highlights the qualities that you already have. Because obviously, to be a fighter, you have to be super resilient. You have to have a huge amount of drive, and you have to be able to like, you know, get submitted repeatedly in the training room and get back up. So, do you think that it changes something in you, that experience, or do you think it brings out qualities that you already have?
Um, I think a lot of guys are trying to make themselves into fighters. A lot of guys are already fighters, and a lot of guys are just doing the shit because they're good at it and it's a hobby. So, and they've been doing it since they was kids, right? And so, you gotta different people approach that differently. You know, every other person is different. But it definitely shows you who you are when you're in the room. If your ego's too big or it's too small, or if it's non-existent, you know, makes differences in the aptitude of you being able to learn or just do the same shit. Some people, you know, they don't learn much, but they do the same thing. They're really successful at it until they're not. And they meet that person, they get broken in a fight, and then they have to adjust those things or they don't. Right. So yeah.
All right. Um, I have like a big general question that I wanted to ask you. What's your favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing about my job is I can do what the fuck I want when I want to do it, where I want to do it, whenever I want to do it. I got to be consistent. I make my own plans. Nobody can tell me but my head coach where to be, when to be, you know, at this practice time, you know. So for me, that's what I love about my job. And I love learning, you know, I love learning. I love trying new shit. Like I love doing new things all the time. So for me, it's just about being like I can be my most creative self when I'm practicing, when I'm training, when I'm like every day I can go in there and try to work and learn something new. So that's what I love about the job the most.
Right. Do you have any kind of like routine or things you do to kind of like get your mind locked in for fight week?
Um I mean I got things that I do during the week, like during the fight week, but for the most part I don't really lock in until like I've been locked in, but like fight it's not until after I have weigh-ins on Friday. After I've already started rehydrating, I turn on the same movie every time and I watch that movie and I just chill with my people and I go over the last few things, but I just make it a real relaxing day and just get ready for the storm of the next day. I like to laugh and I like to just be chill after weigh-ins.
What movie is it that you watch?
The movie's called Major Pain. It's with Damon Wayans. It's like 1990 something movie, but it's Damon Wayans called Major Pain.
Okay.
I watch it after every weigh-in day.
It must be nice to have like a routine, you know. Um, just yeah, get your mind right every time.
I get my hair cut on Tuesday, and if I feel like I need to get touched up on Friday, I usually do it myself. I usually have my own clippers, but I get my hair cut on Tuesday. We got interviews on Wednesday. And UFC things on Wednesday. They leave us alone until Friday weigh-ins morning, and then it's just fight day. So for me, it's just about looking good and feeling good, as they all say.
Okay. So just to finish this off, I'm sure you've seen like, I don't know if you've ever played like the name association game where I give you a name, then you just say like one word for what you think about that fighter.
Okay. Okay, let me try to open up my dictionary. All right, go
Okay.
ahead. Ah,
I'll start with some like broad big names and then we'll go into your division. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Conor McGregor. It's supposed to be fast. Come on.
Okay. My bad. All right.
You got
I
this.
mean, it's so many things. My mind went like 50 different places with him. So like I was thinking of the new movie. I was thinking about like 145 Connor. Okay, new Connor. Okay, Dustin Poirier Connor. Okay, like it went everywhere. I'm sorry. So
No, okay.
okay. All right, Conor McGregor. Menace. Go ahead.
Okay, so Sean O'Malley,
Funny.
Muhammad Makayev,
Determined.
Matt Schnell,
Chill.
Pantoja,
Bully ball.
Brandon Royval,
The dog, my boy.
Brandon Moreno.
Punchable.
Damn, okay. Yeah, that's all I have for you.
I was waiting on you to say other weight classes, but I feel you. I know where you at.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this. And again, I'm so sorry about the just me putting the time in wrong.
Oh, you good. It happens a lot more than you think. And I had a free table for the rest of the day, so no problem.
Thank you so much.